Last night while I was playing my banjo, I broke a first string. And one of the things that's very important if you're a stringed instrument player is to always keep some spares around. I try to keep at least 2 complete sets in my case at all times. That way if I break an individual string, I can replace it, but I still have 1 complete full set in reserve if I want to change the whole set. And as soon as I'm missing 1 string, I'll buy another set or another couple sets. I want at least 2 full sets. Strings tend to break most frequently around the tuning peg area because that's an area they get a lot of stress by making those bends around the peg. They may break anywhere along the string, but it's usually here or at the nut or down at the tailpiece end. But in any event, the very first thing you need to do is get rid of the old string. There may be some remnants left over. And a lot of times if they break up here, you'll have this little bird nest of wire that you need to get out of there. And I find sometimes you can grab them out with your hand, but I carry a little pair of needle nose pliers. And it makes it a lot easier to get that out of there. You can grab a hold of it. If you got a tight piece of wire or a little, sometimes it'll break right at it, and you got to really get in there and get that one little end out and pull it out. Here's a look at the tailpiece end of this particular banjo. It has the famous, what's called the no knot tailpiece. It's very common on old-time banjos, and they're still available today. It's one of the simplest to use because it has 5 little studs on the end, and you just put the loop of the string over the stud and pull it up this direction. As I said, what I broke is my first string, so I have a pack of banjo strings here, and I'm going to pull out a first string. And when you take them out of the envelope, just kind of be cautious. Sometimes they spring out and just go everywhere, and they might jab you in the eye or something. So be just a little careful. So get the string out. You have a twisted loop on one end. That is going to be attached first by putting it right over that little stud on that end. Then you guide the string up this direction. Don't worry too much about being in the bridge slot at this point. Just kind of maintain a little tension on it as you come up this direction. Then you're going to slip the free end through the hole, which I need my glasses to see what I'm doing. Okay, so you take the free end and just poke it through the hole. I like to turn the peg so the hole is sideways to the peg head, and notice it popped off down here. I want to maintain a little tension on that. So you put it through there sideways, and you're always coming from the inside of the peg head out. So the string is coming up, going out through the hole this direction. What you want to do now is, while you're still maintaining a little tension on the string here so it doesn't pop off the tailpiece, you're going to put a 90-degree bend in it where it exits the hole. You just pull it back this direction, and you can see we now have it's passing through the hole and then making a 90-degree sharp turn towards the tip of the peg head. Then you wrap it around the upper side of the tuning key shaft and go underneath the string that you're holding. You're just going to push it underneath there, like so. Still maintaining tension on both parts. So you've gone around the top and under the string. Then you pull both of them tight and pull it straight up and back towards the peg head, like so. Now you start twisting the peg, and as you turn the peg, this free end will get trapped under the long part, get trapped under there and locked to the peg. And I'll stick a drawing up here so that you can see precisely how I did that. Then just start turning the peg. You're going to want it to wind towards the outside. Also, as you come around on your first turn around the peg, as soon as you encounter your wire, you want to make sure that this little piece between the peg and the nut is going lower. You want it to spiral down the peg, not up, and not just overlapping and so on. So you want the second wrap to be lower than the first. So each wrap gets closer and closer to the peg head. Then as it gets kind of tight, just lower it right into the nut slot. At that point, I reach down here and pop that into the bridge slot. And there it is. Now it's on. And you got this little free end sticking up here. Most of your needle nose pliers also have cutters on them, and the way I cut them off is I hold it straight up, open my cutter, and get down right to the level of the top and chop it off. And now it's ready to be tuned up. So that's it. If you've broken all your strings or you want to change them all, the principle is the same. Don't be afraid to change a string. It's sort of like putting oil in your car. It's something you're going to do a lot, and you need to learn how to do it yourself. You don't want to have to go down to the music store to ask them to put a string on it for you. You need to learn how to do it. And hopefully this helped.